What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we are hopping into the 20th episode of the 4th season of Smallville, Ageless. Last time was Blank, where Clark lost all of his memories, and it was a really cool, very Chloe and Clark-centric episode, which was actually really cool to see because Chloe doesn't get enough screen time. I really love her, and there were parts in the earlier seasons where she was kind of annoying, especially when she was pining after Clark, but ever since she learned about Clark's powers, she has been a very supportive friend, someone who's always been there for him, and I love their friendship now that she knows. And I love this episode being the episode where, like, she really just found out all of his powers, because I think she only knew about, like, strength and speed. But now she's like, oh, I got X-ray vision, I got heat vision. It's like, how many powers do you have? And it was just really cool to see their friendship and to see their bond, which was amazing to see. I really loved it. And then we also had, of course, even without his memories, he is in love with Lana. And he said, like, when he didn't even have his memories, he was like, you know, well, this time's going to be different. And then even after he got back his memories, he said the same thing, that this time it was going to be different. And so we are going full on Clana again. So this is a weird thing because they are cute. Lana has been a little bit annoying this season, but they are cute together. They do have cute moments. They do have chemistry. I can't deny that. But it's just weird because you can't fully get behind it because you know that it's not going to, they're not in game. You know that it's going to be Lois. So I don't know. It's definitely a weird thing, but I am along for the ride. So if you want to see my full reaction to this episode or in my other episodes, head on over to my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. Or you can hang out right here on YouTube. Just be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I promise I will get my internet back on track before I start recording the actual episode. So here we go. We are hopping into the 20th episode of the 4th season of Smallville, Ageless. Let's go. Oh my god, she's in labor? What is in her stomach? Oh, you piece of shit! What are you doing? Oh, look at the baby! Was this giving me, like, pilot flashbacks?
He'll be placed with child services until we can find a home for him. You did good for a change, Mr. Kemp.
Oh, come on. He's a good guy.
When does child services come?
We don't have room for him yet, so he's going to stay in the hospital until they do.
He can't stay in the hospital. Maybe he can come stay with us.
I kind of think a hospital is the best place for a newborn baby.
Sorry, I'm late. I was up all night with the crying machine.
Well, if you need any help, I could come over tonight.
Yeah.
She didn't even get to see her own baby. But the baby survived. How is that possible?
Can you trace this?
So I'm wondering.
This is the father. He might have some answers for us.
Your son just returned from China with the lost element, and I would like you to retrieve it for me.
No, you got the wrong son in mind. It was Jason who brought the stone back home.
I don't think either one of us want me to go after Lex myself.
I regard a threat to any Luther as a threat to me.
Interpret it any way you like. I want that stone.
These two actors, their scenes are so good.
What's the matter, little guys?
Hey, Clark with the baby! Oh, he's so cute.
You know, this baby stuff is easier than people say. I think I pretty much got it under control. We found him in Evans Field, and we call him Evan.
Hello, Evan.
You know, Lana, maybe we should take a step back. Maybe we shouldn't get so attached.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys are acting like you adopted him already.
His father's still alive.
Then you never should have left him in that field. Maybe Evan is an orphan just like we were.
Evan?
What? What? He's like, I don't know, 6, 7?
Genevieve Teague thinks you have the missing element, the one from China.
Doesn't Lana still have it?
She had Bridget Crosby murdered because of one of those elements. You think she'd hesitate to do the same to you?
Nope, not at all.
We have to take him back to the hospital.
What are we going to tell the doctors? He's some second-generation meteor freak? I was thinking we'd take him to someone who has experience in the effects of meteor rock.
I realize that Lex has helped us in the past. But there's no way that I'm about to put this young man's
I don't know about that.
And Lex was the only one who could help. What would you do?
Can we go right now?
Where are you going?
Dad! Mom's taking me to see your room.
Oh no! Oh no, honey. Oh.
We're not your real parents.
Everyone's supposed to have a mother and father. They're supposed to love each other very much, just like you and Lana. You're not my mom and dad. Where are they?
Oh.
Wherever they are, I'm sure they love you through.
The data indicates that Evan's body is storing energy. The theory we're working on is that once enough energy is stored, it's expended to fuel a burst of rapid cell division. My team believes a bone marrow transplant might slow the growth and bring his metabolism back to normal. For this to work, we'll need an exact match with a living donor, which means a biological parent.
What's going to happen to Evan if we can't?
He's gonna keep doing that, apparently. Ow! Yo! He's like a teenager now.
I'm dying, aren't I? I've aged from a newborn to a teenager in 48 hours. Do the math.
Lex has got his team working on a cure right now.
And if we can find your father,
You really think you're gonna find a cure for me overnight?
Yeah.
It's like my life was just some sort of trick that was played on me.
I actually feel really bad for him. I know he's supposed to, but I do.
Hey, were you at Christina Verano's party last week?
Hey man, what's going on? How do you not remember?
I was working. So you didn't hook up with Karen Gallagher?
What do you want?
I'm the guy who found your son, laying in the middle of the field.
I got with this girl at a party. The next day, she calls me up crying, saying she's pregnant. A week later, we're in my car, and she starts glowing. And the car went up like a freaking A-bomb.
He's a human being, Tanner. He's your son. He needs a bone marrow transplant. You're the only one who can help him.
What? No!
That would be a lot for anybody to handle. I mean, that's crazy.
An orphan child has every right to know about his origins. You should know that better than anybody.
Tell him what? Did you find my father?
About that?
Sometimes when you meet your biological father, it can be painful.
I don't understand.
Evan, we're just trying to protect you.
You can't protect me. No one can.
Just calm down, okay?
Stop telling me what to do, Clark.
Okay.
You're not my father.
According to the projections, Evan is building towards a massive chronological event.
You're saying Evan's about to die.
It's a
Yep,
lot worse
basically.
than that. The next time Evan ages, he'll release enough energy to kill himself and anyone else at hand.
Damn. Hey, Dad.
Father.
I'm not your dad.
He's dead. Just help me. I'm your son.
You're not! You're some kind of freak!
Did he just, like, kill himself? What?
He's dead. Clark, we needed a living donor to stop Evan from aging again.
Yeah.
There's gotta be something else we can do to help him.
We need to track him down and seal him in a containment chamber under Luther Corp. It's the only way to contain the blast from his final change.
Yeah. There's nothing else he can do.
Evan, I have been worried sick about you.
It was an accident. It's happening again.
I'm gonna call Clark and we're gonna get you help.
Oh, no.
There has to be something that we can do.
Well, we gotta get him out of the house. He's gonna explode the house. So you might want to do that first.
Windmill that you told me about. I'd like to see it.
Has Evan been here?
No.
Must be with Lana. I keep trying to call her, but all I get is static.
Maybe he's putting off an energy field like his mom was. That would explain the power surges.
I mean, yeah.
Surges.
Yeah, they've been popping up all over town for the last hour. 10 miles west. Why would Lana and Evan be way out there?
The windmill.
Mm-hmm.
Chandler Field?
There he goes.
Go get him, Speedy.
God, I cannot wait until he knows that she knows.
The whole world is right there.
Hey, Metropolis.
Lana, you have to go. Clark.
Yeah. Go, 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 go.
I'm glad it was you and Lana that found me.
I think you found us.
Another callback to the pilot.
I should have been my father, Clark.
Aww. Oh, shit. Look, a bomb went off.
We think we have all the time in the world. That we're going to live forever, but it's not true.
Yeah, that's true.
Guess we should make the most of the time we have before it's too late.
They're talking about, like, them?
Do you have something for me?
I most certainly do. To the resolution of our problem. The lengths we go to protect our children.
He just poisoned her.
The wine you've just drunk will kill you in a matter of minutes.
Lionel!
I'm told that the pain will be excruciating. How about a trade? You give me the stone that you stole from Bridget Crosby. And I give you the antidote. One more thing.
Oh, man. I miss Bad
You
Lionel.
my son, and anything that happens to him happens to you.
He is one scary dude.
The element, Genevieve. Where is it?
Oh, Bad Lionel, I miss you so much.
It's like raising a kid's the toughest job in the world.
It's also the most rewarding.
There is nothing quite like watching your son grow up into a young man you can be very proud of.
I love them so much.
It's too bad I'll never know what that's like. I'm from another planet. Who knows if I can have kids?
Yeah, you can adopt.
Your father and I couldn't have children. We were still blessed with a son. You never know what the future will bring you.
It was a really good scene. I love them so much.
I promise you, Evan's life wasn't in vain.
What do you mean?
My team believes studying his unique cellular structure could advance research on
Wow.
Cancer diseases for hundreds of years. I'm releasing our findings to every research facility across the globe.
I don't think I believe him.
He was a special kid, Lex. I can't help wondering what kind of man he would have become. Good one. As long as you were in his life. I bet you're gonna be a great dad someday, Clark.
Yeah. He would be an amazing dad. Every time he interacts with the kid, he's great.
Are you sure you want to release the findings?
Eventually.
Told you. Alright, well that was Ageless. Let's go ahead and we'll talk about it. Well, that was the 20th episode of the 4th season of Smallville, Ageless. And let's be honest, that was not a very good episode. There was an exploding baby that kept like dispersing energy every time, and he aged rapidly. And I don't know, it was okay. There, like, I don't know, it was weird, and it was just, I felt like it was a way to get Clark and Lana together to basically play house and be parents, because it kind of felt a little bit more like fan service, just because, like, you know that they're not going to end up together, so maybe they're just, like, giving it to Clana fans and being like, well, we know they're not supposed to end up together, but they want to see them as parents. Here you go. That's kind of what it felt like. I don't know. I was not a fan. I didn't care. It was, the dad ended up dying, like, on, like, the whatever it was at the shop. It was the stupidest thing ever. Like, he literally just, like, got shoved back, like, walked back to his death. Like, really? Yeah, I'm sorry. If you guys really liked this episode, I'm not a fan. I did not like it. I thought it was really boring. I thought at the beginning, when they were with the baby, it was cute. But then some of the dialogue was just not very good. And they just had to do just, like, teenage angst or whatever about, like, when Evan was like, you know, you're not my dad, and, like, stormed off. And then, like, they had to come up with, like, every cliche parenting thing, like when they're changing the diaper and, like, the pee comes up, everybody does that. And, like, when they're trying to find Evan and Lana's, like, you know, being the mom and, like, I was looking for you everywhere, I was so worried. I'm like, that's, like, mom dialogue 101. I don't know. It just, if you really like this episode, I'm sorry. I'm not a fan. I loved the Lionel and Genevieve stuff, though. You got those two actors are so good, and they play off each other so well. That was the saving grace of this episode, was them. And then actually the last 3 scenes between Lionel and Genevieve, like him masterminding everything and poisoned her bottle of wine that she already had, because he had thought this all the way through. Poisoned her and basically is like, give me the elements or you die. And like, and it was so scary, him being like, anything that happens to my son will happen to you. And it's like, but Lionel's back and he's awesome and I love him. So that was awesome. Those 2 actors are so good. Oh, it's just, mwah, it's money when you get those 2 together. So now, okay, so Clark has, element tracking. Clark has one in the cave. Lana has one in her apartment. And then I guess Genevieve had the 3rd element, but now Lionel does. I think. If I am wrong about that, let me know. But I think that's where all the elements are. And then, of course, I loved the last scene with the Kents. That was so good, about them, like, comforting their son and being like, yes, being a parent is the hardest thing in the world, but the most rewarding. And, you know, and Clark made a good point. Like, he doesn't know if he can have kids. Now, in Superman and Lois, yes, he has kids there. But it's just like, this is, it was a very interesting question to bring up. Like, when he's that young, it's like, he doesn't know if he can have kids or not. And that's a legit question. But I also like the fact that Martha brought up, you know, they couldn't have a kid and they ended up being parents. So that was a great scene for them. I love the Kent family, and I just love their dynamic, and I love their relationship, and it was just a great ending scene for them. And of course, the last scene with Clark and Lex. Of course, he said, like, all the findings that we got from Evan, I'm gonna give it to organizations everywhere, and we're gonna cure every disease out there with all this research. And of course, course he wasn't going to do it. Come on. But, you know, I guess Clark is just way too trusting of Lex. But I did like that, you know, he was telling him that, you know, Clark was going to be a good dad. And I love the response of Clark when he, like, turns to Lex, just like, so will you? He's like, I don't think I will be, but okay. I thought that was good. But of course he's not going to release the information. He's going to keep it for himself and get as much money as he can from figuring out all of these experiments and everything else, and he's going to keep it in-house. Of course he's not going to give it away. You kidding me? But those last 3 scenes were the saving grace of this episode. The first 35 minutes were not good. I'm sorry. I did not like this episode, but the last 3 scenes saved it, I think. So, unfortunately, at the end of the day, I wasn't going to give it, honestly, I was thinking I'd probably give it a 6, to be honest. Like, that is how much I dislike this episode. But, like I said, the last 3 scenes are saving grace, so I'm bumping it up to a 6.5. As far as the tally board, we have a +1 for hospital visits, so now we're at 66. We are at a +1 for Clex Ending. We haven't had a Clex Ending in a long time, so we are now at 5. And we have a +1 for the Sudo Suit, which is the blue shirt and red jacket, and so we're at 24. If you want to see my full reaction to this episode or any of my other episodes, head on over to my Patreon page. The link is in the description below, or you can hang out right here on YouTube. That is fine. Just be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.